Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
This is Autoline Daily for July 16, 2010, and now the news. And here we go again. Honda is being hit with yet another strike in China because, you guessed it, the workers want more money. This time, it's a supplier that makes gear shift levers for Honda's plants in China. The Wall Street Journal reports that production has not been affected so far because those plants have enough inventory on hand, but sales have been affected. Last month, Honda sales in China fell 3%, while the rest of the market jumped by 23%. And here's a bit of my Autoline analysis. Making sure that you have plenty of inventory on hand to keep on making cars in case of a strike may now become a necessity for car companies operating in China, but that sure goes against the practices of lean manufacturing and just-in-time production, and that is going to make those facilities less competitive. When Nissan came out with the minivan called the Quest, it wanted a highly styled van to appeal to people who do not like minivans. And while that concept did not exactly catch on, Nissan is sticking with the idea of a highly styled van. The new Quest will make its debut at the Los Angeles Auto Show later this year, but here are some photos that Nissan released. You'll notice the very pronounced grille on the front of the vehicle, and note the chrome accents that outline the DLO, or the window area on the side of the van, and that carries all the way around to the rear. And even the interior of the van has a rather dramatic flair to it. We'll have more details on the new Quest as they become available. There is more and more interest in using carbon fiber in the automotive industry. Recently, BMW announced it will build a carbon fiber plant in the state of Washington, and now Lamborghini has opened its own carbon fiber research center at its headquarters in Italy. According to Autoblog, engineers and technicians are developing components of various sizes and shapes, and they'll also build prototypes and production tools and develop optimized production techniques. In addition, the researchers will also simulate manufacturing processes and carry out crash tests of the carbon fiber structures. First it was GM, then it was Ford, and now the supplier company Eaton says it too is going to use battery cells from Compact Power. According to the Detroit Free Press, unlike GM and Ford, which will use the batteries for passenger vehicles, Eaton will use them to help electrify commercial vehicles. Analysts expect it to be a popular market for electrics because commercial vehicles are regularly scheduled for use and maintenance, so they will get recharged every night. Wards reports that supplier company Magna expects global demand for all-wheel drive systems to grow. It estimates that by 2015, sales will surge 10%, largely because of the feature's popularity in Asia. Volkswagen Tiguan sales in China seem to support this claim. The automaker estimated that all-wheel drive would have a take rate of 20%. Instead, it's running at 50%. Demand for all-wheel drive equipped vehicles is also strong in South Korea, and it's gaining popularity in North America too. In 2001, the installation rate was 1.3% of all vehicles. Last year, it was nearly 4%. Yesterday, J.D. Power and Associates released its latest APEAL study, which rates vehicles on a variety of factors, from interior and exterior design to fuel economy to how well the HVAC system works. The organization surveyed 76,000 buyers and lessees to see how they like their 2010 models during the first 90 days of ownership. The big news here is that for the first time since 1997, Detroit automakers as a whole surpassed the imports. But Porsche was the top-rated brand for the 6th consecutive year, with Jaguar, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Land Rover rounding out the top 5 spots. Ford captured 5 segment-level awards, more than any other manufacturer. Overall, the S-Class Mercedes was the highest-rated vehicle of any model. You can hit the link in today's show notes to learn more about the highlights from the 2010 J.D. Power APEAL study. Hey, who is this guy Bob King who just took over as president of the UAW? Do you know anything about the union's new leader? They say he's really going to rile things up, and we'll take a look at that right after this.
Introducing Bridgestone's third generation of run-flat tires with groundbreaking new Bridgestone technologies. Bridgestone run-flat tires offer improved ride comfort, lower rolling resistance, and improved wear while giving you the peace of mind and comfort you need.
Bob King is the new president of the UAW, and in just a couple of weeks, he's already making himself a lot more visible than the past 3 presidents of the union. So what's this guy all about? Well, that's one of the topics that we tackle on Autoline Detroit this weekend. Joining me for that discussion are 3 labor experts. Robert Sharavelli from Strategic Labor and Human Resources, LLC, Sean McElinden from the Center for Automotive Research, and Joe Cesny from the Oakland Press. Here's a part of that discussion.
Well, I think President King, hard worker, intelligent guy, he is a transformational leader. There's no doubt about that in my mind. But does one guy turn that whole block of regional organization, that whole block of local organizations, and move them away from these bread and butter outcomes?
He's pretty ambitious. I mean, I read a story in Metro Times this week where Jack Lessenberry told the anecdote that he came into the UAW, went to work at Ford Motor Company in the 1970s with the idea that he would become UAW president, which is pretty bold, and he did it. So I don't think I wouldn't underestimate him. I think I do agree he faces a lot of challenges, but he's had a lot of chutzpah over the years.
Oh, absolutely. This is a completely different president, I think, than the last 2 or 3. This is a guy who believes in organizing, who's led it since the late 90s, was the first vice president of organizing. He is an in-the-street guy, and now he can put the whole power of the presidency of the UAW behind that effort.
Which is still considerable. I mean,
Which is considerable. And their alliance with the APEAL-CIO is as good or better than it's ever been. So he'll have a lot of cooperation and from the administration, and he knows how to use it. The focus won't be that much on the big 3.
You can see that entire discussion, and it's a good one, at our website at AutolineDetroit.tv. And that is it for the most important news in the global automotive industry. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.